without further ado, I will introduce our speaker. Normally, I have to have like a whole other screen that tells me about the person, but I feel like I've memorized your bio now. So, Dr. DeCaro practices in Massachusetts. Okay.
Correct.
I always want to say Connecticut and then I change it last minute. Massachusetts. And he has a thriving practice there. He also is an owner of Nolaro 24, which does the quadristep system and the little steps orthotic system, which we've talked about a lot here. And he is the president of the American College of Foot and Ankle Pediatrics organization, also called ACFAP. And they have an annual meeting in the fall of every year at a national park. So participants get to go on a special tour of the national park, and it's a very intimate meeting. This year's meeting is in September.
Correct. September
And
18th through 20th.
is it Joshua? No,
Rocky Mountain National Park.
Rocky Mountain National Park. So
1 hour from Denver Airport. Easy to
oh,
get.
that's easy. So we'll be sharing information about that later on, and so you can register and find out everything you need to know there. All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay. I'm going to turn it over. This is Dr. Louis DeCaro. I am going to mute myself and turn off my video so I'm not a distraction, and you go ahead and take it away.
All right. Thanks, Ann. And thanks to podiatrymeetings.com for putting this together. And before I start, I just wanted you all to know that I came up with my top 27 ways to help you grow your podiatric practice. And I have sort of a homework assignment for everyone on this webinar. I'll have two questions at the end, and you can answer them through the chat or you can let me know. Number one, I want to know which of the numbers is your favorite one. And the favorite one could be one of the ways that you already use or a way that you're learning on this webinar tonight. And then the second one is how many of the 27 techniques that I'm presenting to you to grow your podiatric practice are you already doing? I could probably come up with about 50,000 of them, but I narrowed them down to 27. And for the sake of time, I'm going to try to end this about 10 minutes before 9 so that we take some questions. Usually when I give this lecture, How to Grow the Practice, there's a lot of questions from the audience. This is a really fun one for me to give. I don't have to remember any angles or any sort of podiatry surgical handbooks or anything like that. I can just sort of talk about how I built my practice and hopefully some good tips for you to build your pediatric practice. I started practice about 25 years ago, and over that course of that time, I've built a practice which I see now mostly kids, which to me is the most enjoyable part of podiatry. However, a lot of podiatrists don't specialize in kids, and there's not enough pediatric treatment out there. So if you want to get more into pediatrics, hopefully this is the webinar for you. So you can find me on Instagram at the Pediatric Podiatrist, DeCaroPodiatry.com. Everyone I'm sure knows my email address, drlewisjames@gmail.com. You can go to acfap.org. I can't hide very well. Okay, so let's go to slide 2 here. So this is not the number one way to grow your practice. It's just number one. So these are not in any particular order. They just happen to be sort of kind of randomly placed. And number one is join ACFAP. So ACFAP is the American College of Foot and Ankle Pediatrics, and we are the affiliate of the APNA that specializes in pediatric. Our mission is to educate the public, our patients, and our peers on pediatric podiatry, everything and anything. We have a website, acfap.org. On that website, which is actually under design right now by one of our board members, Hannah Park. She's redesigning it as we speak. We have some features on there now. We're going to have many more going forward. One of the features that we have on there now, if you join as a member, is find the doctor. Find the pediatric podiatrist. And we have a lot of emails, actually, I get a lot of emails from people all around the country and even the world about where they're traveling or where they live, and I direct them all to acfap.org to try to find the specialists in their area. Anne said that we would announce at the end of this webinar what the surprise is for staying on, but I'm going to give it to you right away. The actual sort of kind of surprise here, courtesy of ACFAP, is if you apply for ACFAP membership before January 31st, so that's a few days from now, at acfap.org, we will discount you your full membership cost, which is $175 to the meeting fee. After January 31st this year, the full membership cost will not be applied to the meeting fee. So whether you're on the fence, if you're going to come to our meeting or not, make sure that you register as a member, because membership is a really great way to promote your practice. As well, when you become a member, we have window clings that you put in your office and stuff you can put in your office. So acfap.org, join it now. Number 2, come to the meeting. Come to ACFAP's annual meeting. Come to our meeting to learn everything and anything pediatric podiatry. We have, I think, the best pediatric foot and ankle seminar in the world. We do it once a year. This is our 10th annual pediatric seminar. Every year we do it in a national park, and this year is in Rocky Mountain National Park, like we talked about. It's an hour from Denver Airport. It's at a beautiful hotel right on the outskirts of the park, and it's really going to be great. I just wanted to show you our lecture schedule. So the seminars from the 18th to the 20th. We'll talk about what we do on the 18th. But on Friday the 19th and on Saturday the 20th, this is our seminar. So we start out, Dr. DeCaro, a good friend of mine. I know many of you know him. He's going to be talking about MIS and juvenile bunions. Dr. Grady, he's a legend out of Chicago, sports medicine. Dr. Park, she's on our board. She's amazing. Pediatric pharmacology, everything and anything you want to know about pre-op, post-op considerations with pharmacology, how to dose, how to convert doses. That's going to be a really exciting lecture. We're going to talk about pediatric athletic footwear. Patty Larkin out of Texas is amazing. She is really the seephead to the stars of skating and big in the shoe and skating world and athletic world. She's going to be coming and imparting her knowledge. Michael Jarman, who runs a 100% pediatric-only practice out of Arizona. He's doing in-office procedures and ankle fractures. So, we're doing everything from conservative to minor surgery, to complicated surgery, to trauma, to sports medicine. Mitzi Williams, who wrote the textbook on lesser digit deformities, is coming to lecture about it. We have pediatric PT. Grace is making her appearance. She's doing osteochondral defects. I'm doing in-toeing, toe walking. We have a moderated panel. We have a dermatology seminar, a workshop. We have an AFO-SMO bracing workshop. We do have a biomechanics workshop. I mean, it's amazing. So becoming a member of ACFAP will instantly save you the $250 off the conference registration fee. It's right there, and that's good through January 31st. So every day before the Thursday before our seminar, so we're September 18th through 20th. So September 18th, we all the doctors go out to the national park, wherever we are. We can see the first 9. We have, let's see, Acadia, Yosemite, Acadia, Everglades, Smoky Mountains, Death Valley, Joshua Tree. There's Mount Rushmore. We did so many. And this year is going to be the most spectacular. It's the 10th anniversary, of course. So definitely come out. It's a fun time to learn about pediatrics and have just a great outdoor experience. And you can bring your family. Number 3 of 27, come to my biomechanics master's class. So every year I run a biomechanics master's class. This year with Pat DeCaro is coming in. And of course, Roberta Knoll and Joey DeCaro are coming in. And we're going to be teaching you 2 days of in immersive biomechanics and I'll be doing the pediatric section. So number 3 way to grow your pediatric practice is learn more about pediatrics, and number two was about learning more, and number three is about learning even more. So you want pediatric education. Unfortunately, you don't get a lot of it at the major seminars. This Thursday, I'll be lecturing at the SAM seminar on for an hour and a half on pediatrics. Actually, we're doing the tween workshop. But in general, at most seminars, it's hard to get pediatrics. So these are two really, really good ones. So you can scan this code, or you can go to nolaro24.com or info@nolaro24.com. Number four, it's all about biomechanics. So know that growing your pediatric practice is going to be all about the biomechanics, meaning educating your patients that their children don't outgrow their stuff. They compensate it. If they don't get treated early, they pay the price for it. It's never too early to treat. And you have to explain to them about all the motion and the torque throughout life and all the ill effects of that from pediatric to adulthood. So realizing that it's all about the biomechanics. And I don't mean teaching biomechanics. I mean realizing that it's all about the biomechanics. So this is really growing your pediatric practice is getting into the mindset of understanding that everything you see in your practice, short of possibly some trauma that, happens, like, I don't know, an icicle falls from the 10th story building and goes through your foot. That's not biomechanically related, but everything from ingrown nails to onychomycotic nails to in-toeing, out-toeing, knee pain, hip pain, foot pain, ankle pain, neuromas, heel pain, all those things. It's all about biomechanics. And just getting in the mindset of that so that you can use that as a tool in order to grow your practice through education. So that's number four. And the biomechanics is all about genetics. So the fifth way to grow your pediatric practice is to understand the genetics of foot structure and how our foot apples don't fall far from the foot tree. Asking parents and grandparents of your existing patients, do you have kids? Do they have the same kind of feet as you? Did you have this kind of pain when you were young? Does your child have that kind of pain now? What kind of pain did you have when you were younger? Do your children have that kind of pain now? Genetics, genetics, genetics. You know my phrase, who gave you those feet and who did you give those feet to? I ask every single patient that. Every one of them. Who did you give those feet to and who gave you those feet? Number six, market yourself how you want to be seen. So on my website, DeCaroPodiatry.com, this is the opening slide right here. I want to be seen as someone who specializes in kids, and I want to give the presentation on my website that is what I do. I want to market myself through various ways, and we're going to talk about a few other ways of how to market ourselves. You can see right in the dead center up top, pediatric care. And you got the little cute feet with the heart there. Market yourself how you want to be seen. And this just happens to be the website. It's very easy. All web providers have slides of pediatrics. You can find images, you can purchase images, but make sure you're marketing yourself how you want to be seen. Let's say you're on this webinar and you don't want to specialize in kids, but you want to specialize in the right fourth toe. But you're using this webinar in order to grow your right fourth toe business by getting some tips from me. Fine. On this opening slide of your website on the home page, all you're showing is zooming in on the right fourth toe because that's all you do. So market yourself how you want to be seen. Number seven, remember these phrases. Growing your pediatric practice is constantly reminding yourself and your patient of these three phrases. Correction is a poor substitute for prevention. Patients are in your office to get surgery. When I started, I almost lived in the OR. They're in your office to get surgery. By then, it's too late. Sure, you can fix them with surgery, but you could have prevented surgery. And so the best way, this is like, it is number one, actually. And there's different variations and offshoots of this concept on this whole webinar. But educating your adult patients that correction is a poor substitute for prevention. Telling every single one of them that you're bringing to the OR that unless you want your kids possibly to go to the OR because they've genetically inherited their foot type, bring them in so that we can see if we can prevent with them what you're correcting on the patient in front of you. Doing nothing is a terrible treatment plan. Doing nothing is, I'm not going to call it malpractice, but doing nothing for someone at an early age is a terrible treatment plan. It's not malpractice. It's nothing. It's just not a good treatment plan. So making sure that you understand what genetics are in each family and making sure that you're thinking in your head that doing nothing is a terrible treatment plan so that you can talk to your patient about them doing more. And you don't outgrow it, you compensate for it. If you have a kid who walks severely out, or they work severely in, or they walk on their tippy toes, all those things that I've lectured on, and all those things I will lecture on for you in the future and in the past, they don't outgrow it. Sure, maybe the child doesn't toe walk when they're an adult. Sure, maybe they used to in toe and now they don't in toe anymore. It didn't fix itself. These things don't fix themselves. Come spend a few days at my office and I'll show you the before and after. I have kids all the time that come in when they're young and they in toe. And I explain to the parents that this in towing won't look like in towing later in life, but it'll look like something else. It'll look like knee pain. It'll look like hip pain. We don't outgrow these things. We compensate for them. So learning more on podiatrymeetings.com, I did my in-towing and toe walking lecture. In September, I'm doing my in-towing and toe walking lecture. If you come out to the seminar, you can go on a hike with me in the 12 hours that we spend in National Park, and I can give you the lecture in person. But knowing that you don't outgrow it and you compensate for it is a really powerful thing. So remember these phrases, carry them with you. A lot of these tools to grow your pediatric practice is carrying these thoughts with you every day. You want to do it? Always be thinking about this. Number 8, the low-tech approach. We talked in one of the slides about marketing yourself on your website. Well, how many of you, and of course you don't have to raise your hand, but how many of you have a business card that you give out that's an appointment reminder, or just a business card in general? The low-tech approach is make your business card how you want to be viewed. Do you want that right fourth toe on your business card? Do you want some cute feet on there? Do you want to write pediatric specialist? Do you want to go specializing in pediatric podiatry? Whatever you do. What are you handing out to your patients? You're handing them out a bland card and you want to throw it, which like this old crusty writing on it in a font that's meaningless with like no logo on it? Or do you want to grow your pediatric practice and every patient that comes in, do you want to hand them a card that says, oh, wow, I didn't realize this person specialized in pediatrics or knows anything about pediatrics? Patients come to you thinking that kids don't exist in the foot world. I tell people that I specialize in pediatrics, and they're like, you're a pediatrician? No, I'm a podiatrist. You do old feet, right? No, young feet. I didn't know podiatrists did that. You'd be surprised. It's true. They don't know. You got to tell them. You got to get it into them. From the time they go to the website to the time you give them a card to how you're going to market in the room, and we're going to talk about that, you want to immerse them in whatever you want to specialize in. And I asked you at the beginning of the webinar to write down which one of these is your favorite, and how many of these 27 you're doing. And I asked you which one is your favorite because number 8 may be your favorite. No, and it seems so trivial, but you may say, you know what? Gosh darn it, it's not going to cost me a lot of money, and I'm going to start handing out all these cards with these appointment reminders that people are going to put them on their refrigerator, and they're going to see these little feet and they're going to remember, I see kids, I want to grow my pediatric practice. And I know there's some of you on here that are trying to grow your pediatric practice. Are you doing this? I bet you most of you aren't. Do it. High-tech approach. This is the Instagram account for my good buddy Michael Jarman, who's a pediatric podiatric wizard out in Phoenix. Once again, he's lecturing on in-office procedures and ankle fractures at FACFAP 2025, September 18th through September 20th, acfap.org. You can register. This is him. He's pediatric foot. I'm the pediatric podiatrist. Come up with a name. High-tech approach. Instagram. Maybe you're TikToking it if it's still around. Maybe you're forming a presence and you're putting out there that you do kids because people will find you. People who have kids who have foot problems have a hard time finding someone. I have people that come from out of state every day in my office because they simply can't find someone closer to them that does pediatrics. So you made it to this webinar. And you should feel fortunate, not because you have me, but because you're looking to become more of a specialist in something that can be amazing for your practice. And not only amazing for your practice, but also amazing for the general population because there are not enough of us. So this is, I call it the high-tech approach, being the Instagram wizard on pediatric podiatry. Number 10. Show them. Show them. Remember, we talked about biomechanics. We talked about genetics. We talked about how we inherit our feet. Everyone takes their shoes and socks off in the office. Kids are there, shoes and socks off, standing next to parents. So for this particular set of parents, I had mom put her shoes back on, dad keeps his shoes off. So you can see this is the same foot. This is on the left, you have the destruction that's been caused, eventual bunion surgery, patient with tarsal tunnel syndrome, shin splints as a teenager, knee pain, growing pains when they were 6. Maybe they in-toed when they were young. You've taken that webinar from me before. Remember those in-toers that actually comes from forefoot varus and they stand like this? Hip pain. On the right, 0 pain. Kid just started to walk. Clean slate, no problems. Remember, you don't outgrow it, you compensate for it. Ignoring it is not the answer. Show them. Growing your pediatric practice, show them. It's right there. There it is. Look at this foot and look at that foot. Looks the same, right? Show them. Oh, this is a big one. This is probably my favorite one, right? I mean, for several reasons. Number one, it's about education. Patients, educating patients. Educating, once again, the existing patients that you have in a way that makes sense. I hope many of you on this webinar have taken my class on how to foot type. If you haven't, there is a podiatry meetings on it. There's one on my website. My master's class, May 2nd, 3rd, we're doing it. I'm sure there'll be some lecture that I'm going to give this year that talks about it. Educating your patients that once you're over the age of 8, 9, 10 years old, you're one of 24 different feet. And you inherit these feet. And giving them a reproducible way, a reproducible biomechanics method. So you all know I have these 2 posters up in every treatment room. I tell every patient over the age of 10 what letter they are. I show them what letter means with orthotics, with clinical symptoms, with gait patterns, with callus patterns. And then in that same breath, I say, oh, you're a D? You have any Ds at home? Go home, go to DeCaroPodiatry.com, click on the D, learn more about it, watch the videos, look at your kids walk, see if you think they're a D. Bring them in if they are. And inevitably, you pretty much have a 50-50 chance that you're talking to the person who spawned the bad feet. Think about that. It only takes 2, mom and a dad, right? You're probably looking at the foot. That's bad because they're in your office. And if they have a kid or two or three or four or six, they probably gave their foot to one or two or three or six of them. So this is cool. If you don't have these posters up in your room, email me, email info@nolaro24.com, get some posters, put them up. You've seen these in my subsequent webinars. Learn this stuff, use it to educate. Number 12, I got to put in a plug for Little Steps Orthotics, of course. This isn't a CME lecture, so I can. This is an orthotic that I helped create. It's the most functional over-the-counter UCBL on the market. Roberta Nolan and myself created this about 15 years ago because what we realized was many orthotics that worked well under the age of 7 for pediatric flat foot were pretty much very similar. Look at that top left picture of that gray orthotic and look at our little steps. We would make custom orthotics that worked well for kids with a 30mm depth heel cup, some nice lateral medial walls, a nice skive, medial posting, over and over and over again. And we would have to charge patients for custom orthotic prices. So we designed, it's the only one on the market, it's the most functional, the Little Steps orthotic. And it is the best pediatric orthotic on the market, not just because I had a hand in designing it, because we sell these around the world. I do these for patients all the time. We see tons of results. It holds the foot like an orthotic. It's not an arch support for kids. It's not a flat thing they put in their shoes. It's amazing. Whether the patient's in pain, not in pain yet, balance, posture, coordination, strength, you name it. I've given many lectures about this, and you can find this on any of my sites to learn more about it, or you can just email me and I can give you the links. So number 12, know the Little Steps orthotics. Get them in your office. Use them, dispense them. They're inexpensive to you and to the patient. Number 13, everyone takes their shoes and socks off. Everyone comes to the appointment. You have a guy, he's 80 years old, he's coming in, maybe doing at-risk care, maybe he has an ingrown nail. He's bringing the family. You call, make an appointment in my office, you bring in your family. I don't care what you're coming in for. Bring the family. Everyone takes their shoes and socks off. Let's talk genetics. Let's talk foot structure in your family. Let's get them all in. Everyone takes their shoes and socks off. Do not let anyone who comes in, I don't care for what procedure, whether they're there as a caregiver, whether they're there as a spouse, whether they're there because they're a friend who, everyone takes their shoes and socks off. I'm foot typing everyone in the room. Whether they're cleaning your fish tank, whatever they're doing. It's a really, really great way of marketing yourself to your existing patients. Number 14, internal marketing. One thing I pride myself on is education. You all know that. And this child here got some Little Steps orthotic from me. This is his shoe. We talk about shoes. We give him a handout on shoes, a handout on flat feet, a handout of his foot type and how it evolves, a handout on the Little Steps orthotic. Internal marketing, giving a handout to every patient that's in your office, whether they're pediatric or adult, about the pediatric foot, especially if they're a pediatric, because you want to give the parents as much information as possible so that they can trust you, they know what you're doing, and you can provide the best care. Because the best care is education for a patient, not just saying this is what you do. It's telling them why. So give them handouts. Handouts, handouts, handouts. Number 14, internal marketing. In your room, you're marketing yourself. Number 15, marketing to the early intervention physical therapists, early intervention occupational therapists, early intervention speech therapists. My number one referral source by far in my office is the early intervention therapist, not just physical therapists. They treat kids under the age of 3. gross motor milestone delay, post-club foot, CP, neuromuscular issues, you name it, torticollis, late to gait, whatever it may be, Down syndrome, autism. These are therapists that are working with kids at a young age that you need to educate that the feet are vital. You cannot treat the second floor of a building and fix it up until the first floor foundation is solid. My number one referral source are these early intervention EI therapists. Find them in your area and give them a lecture. Give them one of my lectures. Go educate them. Number 16, taking the appointment and reminder calls. Hello, I'd like to make an appointment for my son. Okay. You tell your staff, or maybe you answer your own phone, that you want both parents there. You want everyone and anyone who is genetically linked to that patient to come, because the more that come, the better you'll understand the condition that the child is dealing with and where it goes. If you have a full family, you can figure out the path of the child. Let's say you have mom, dad, aunt, uncle, brother, sister. They're all of different ages, but you find that there's a common foot type theme. 4 out of 5 of them have the same foot type. You're seeing the youngest of them. All 4 of them, I guarantee, are patients when they leave. Why are they patients? Because they need to be patients. The oldest one in the room has an E foot type. She's having hip pain. That's grandma. Grandma needs orthotics. You're going to tell her what foot type she is. You're going to give her information, and she's going to make an appointment to consult with you. Her daughter has the same foot type. She's trying to get back to running because she just had 2 kids, and she's having knee pain. Same foot type, same education. She's making an appointment. The older brother, oh, he's playing soccer. He's got shin splints all over the place. Same foot type, different age. You're educating the parents on getting him in. And then your patient, who's 4, who's having growing pains, who's had growing pains for a whole year. Same foot type, same education, orthotics. It's a beautiful thing. So having your staff encouraging parents and siblings to come in, because it better helps Dr. DeCaro treat the patient. So sometimes I share these with my patients. I play an open hand, and I hope some of my patients are watching, and I hope the next time that I see them, that they bring 100 people into the treatment room, and they say, you told me to do that on your webinar that I watched on podiatrymeetings.com. Know your patient's insurance and orthotics codes. That's number 17. Know what you're getting yourself into. Don't let a patient leave not knowing what they're going to owe. Don't let a patient leave thinking that feeling guilty when they check out because they can't afford the cost of the orthotics. Have a conversation with them. You're going to know what conversation to have by knowing what insurance they have and what the codes are that you're going to use for orthotics. And you're going to be able to tailor the treatment more appropriately, or moreover, having a better discussion with your patients and their parents if you know this information. In my state, is the over-the-counter Little Steps orthotic covered? In my state, is custom covered? How often? If I can't go custom because it's too out of the price range, do I have other options? Can I put them in Little Steps? Can I put them in Quadristeps? Know this stuff going in. And you're thinking like, wait, how is this going to help me grow my pediatric practice? Because you're going to be a better doctor. You're going to present to patients better and their parents. And their parents are going to talk to other parents. I'll tell you, and this is kind of like I'm sliding this in as a bonus. I would say kind of a second biggest referral source for me are mom groups. And I'm a dad. I have no problem saying it's mom groups because it is mom groups on Facebook, and they talk. So being an educator and being educated about your patients and being a good doctor will get word of mouth. Knowing your allies, talking to them, finding the physical therapists, the adult physical therapists, because they're seeing kids, they're seeing families, getting them to send patients in based on foot type. Physiatrists, pediatric physiatrists. One of the ways that I got started was I linked up at a local hospital, the pediatric clinic that a physiatrist was running, and before you knew it, I took the clinic over. Developmental optometrists, uh, optometrists that deal with vision and how it affects gait. Your current adult. You don't need the pediatricians. You really don't. I mean, I'm all for educating pediatricians, but you really don't need them. That myth that you have to go to a pediatrician office, it's a myth. You will grow a following because you'll do a great job and the pediatricians will refer to you. Lecturing. Get out, lecture. Uh, I do many lectures for Down syndrome groups. National Down Syndrome Society, I've done lectures. Local state chapters, I've done lectures. This isn't lectures, but I've done the buddy walk, where you're basically giving mini lectures because you're presenting to prospective patients as they come to your booth, getting out there, showing that you know what you're talking about, and talking to the groups of the patients that you want to see. It's my personal opinion that every person with Down syndrome should be screened to make sure that the ligamentous laxity connective tissue is adequate in order to support the full structure of the body, and most of the time it isn't, and getting them into custom orthotics, SMOs, AFOs, whatever they may need. Getting out and lecturing, number 19. Get out. Just do it. Number 20, get on television. So approximately once a month, I'm on a local NBC channel. You can go to DeCaro Podiatry and you go to NBC videos that I have up there and get on television. You think it's so complicated, it's not. Get a suit, get a tie if you're a guy. Get a suit and tie if you're a girl too, woman. Doesn't matter. Get dressed up, look nice, come up with a good topic, call your local TV station, radio station. I should put get on television/radio. But get on there. This is an appearance I did on NBC with a cardiologist. We shared a mutual patient there with Down syndrome. As the cardiologist referred me the patient, and now we both see her. And these are great appearances, and it markets yourself, and it's not hard. Television stations are looking for people to come on and impart knowledge, and we are doctors, and getting on there can be a powerful tool for the patients, for education, and to grow your practice. Number 21, educating the public. This is a big one, right? Going to PTAs, sports clubs, teams, coaches, shoe stores. And this is one of like a little brochure, piece of a brochure that I bring. You know, does your child struggle ages 1 to 5 from any of these? Flat feet, toe walking, in-toeing, coordination, foot alignment, balance, pain, fatigue, growing pains. You know how many kids are out there with these between the age of 1 and 5 who are not treated? Way too many of them. Ages 6 to 12, flat feet, growing pains, knee, shin pain, Osgood Schlatter, Sievers, poor posture, knock knees. You know how many kids 6 to 12 are not being treated with this? Way too many. Ages 13 to 17, you know where I'm going with this. Patellofemoral pain syndrome, plantar fasciitis, shin splints, stress fractures, ankle pain, ankle instability. You know how many kids are being consulted to podiatry for these? Not many of them. Target your audience, target them with the information specific to what you want to grow your practice to. Number 22, create a kid-friendly space. Don't have like needles in your hallway. Don't have your treatment room with blades glistening in the light. Have fun stuff. We have 2 fish tanks in our office, one saltwater, one freshwater. We have Dory and Nemo. Somehow we got Dory and Nemo from the movie and we put them in our fish tank. Kids love it. The Dory and Nemo fish tank is right outside my office where I sit and do my charts. I cannot tell you how many times, and it makes me smile every time, I hear a kid come in for their appointment and they're screaming, Dory or Nemo. I also do photography, if any of you know me. I love to travel. I like to lecture. I like to take pictures. I like to do webinars for podiatrymeetings.com. So I put fun pictures up of animals and they ask about them and I tell them the story. Create a kid-friendly space. Give them toys, give them books. We're post-COVID. You can give them, whatever you want now. So make it friendly. Don't make it sterile and boring and with crooked pictures of, like some boring rainy scene in England. Make it fun and cheery. Create kid-friendly spaces. Number 23, have enough room in your treatment room for a dance party. Dr. Grossman, I said that I'd be citing you. If you go on Facebook, on Lauren Grossman's Facebook, if you're friends with her, she does a lot of pediatrics. She has dance parties in her office. So have room for dance parties, pediatric dance parties. Lauren, I want to see more kids dancing in your office. All right. Next one. Have the whole family dance. You make a kid Seavers go away. You make the shin splints go away. Kids finally walking for the first time in their life. Have them dance. I wish I would have thought of this sooner. I have a lot of dance videos, but I'm not one to steal. This is my treatment room. See how big it is? Lots of chairs. You can't even see the whole thing. See the posters? Yep, get those up. See those drawers? Those have the little steps in them. Get those in your office. See the pictures of the fun things that aren't too, yeah, we have the token shoehorn in there, but the kids love that shoehorn. They don't know what it is. It's a great icebreaker. Kids playing with it when you come in. They don't even know what it is. It's a good icebreaker. Room for a dance party. Give them room. Number 24. This is kind of a one I don't know if I have to explain. I think it's going to click with a lot of you. Whether you realize it or not, more time with the patient provides better care through education, makes you rush less, and actually generates more revenue for your practice. When I graduated residency, I was seeing 50 patients a day. Now I'm seeing maybe 15, 20 at the most patients a day. I'm a lot happier. Patients are a lot better treated. We don't run behind, spend more time, better education. And, this is, of course, always practice management you're going to be talking about in any going into any specialty, and you will be happier on so many different levels. More time with your patients, spend more time, educate them better. Trust me, you will not regret it. You'll be a lot happier. Patients know when you're rushing. I know when my doctor's rushing when I go in the room. They don't like that. You want to get on that mom's group, don't rush. And if I take 40 minutes with a patient, but I'm educating the whole family, I'm going to get 4 patients out of it, and that's going to be 4 new patients. I never think for a second of overbooking, double booking, or seeing too many patients. I don't know why you would want to do that. It's just not good patient care, and it's not good for your overall sanity, too. Number 25, the bring your kid to your visit screening clinic. So I got all confused with the quotes here. There actually should be like a triple quotes in screening. So let me explain number 25 to you. The bring your kid to your visit screening clinic. So I don't do screening clinics. I know at FACFAP we've had some talk about like creating a screening clinic or taking a weekend and giving a free clinic. I don't do that. I say to my existing adult patients, bring your kid in. We won't build a visit. I'll look at him real quick, and then I'll tell you if he needs an appointment. Boom. I screen him on the spot while the parent's getting their visit. We're not charging the parent, and we're getting a captive audience, and we're getting the parent to bring their kid in. So it's the bring your kid to your visit screening clinic. I hope that makes sense. You may want to take a picture of this one so you kind of wrap your head around this phrase. This is one of my favorites. I don't want to bias you, but they're all my favorites, but this is one of them, definitely. Probably one of the 27 favorites. Ha. Number 26, spread your goals and objectives to your patients and to your staff. How are you thinking when you treat patients? Show them. Hand this out. I hand this out occasionally when I have a whole family that comes in. I want them to understand sort of kind of these 11 things that I'm thinking about and when I evaluate feet. Your goals may be different, your objectives may be different, but tell patients what you care about, what you're thinking about, how you're treating them, and why you provide great care to them. So spreading your goals and objectives to them, I think is a really, really good one. Number 27, what are your patients looking at while they wait? Are they looking at nothing? Are they looking at that crooked picture of the rain in London in the waiting room? What are they looking at? Make sure they're looking at something that shows them how you want to be seen. Nolaro 24 was another one of our posters. You can email us for this. Do you have kids? We want to see them. Ask about a complimentary children's foot evaluation. My complimentary children's foot evaluations are the bring your kid to your screening clinic appointment. I don't do a separate clinic once again. Let us take a peek and sleep easier knowing their feet are in good hands. Patients look at this, they ask about this all the time. It's amazing. One poster. They're sitting there, and I'm sure many of you are overbooking patients, unfortunately, and they're waiting way too long to see you. What are they looking at? My office patients complain I don't give them enough time to read all the magazines that we get. But in many offices, they're sitting there. Make sure they're looking at something. And this one seems pretty obvious, but I think it's a really good one. Now I'm stopping at 27 because I'm a New York Yankees fan. They've only won 27 World Series, which is way more than any other team. But next year, and when you have me back, I'm going to do top 28 reasons because they'll won the 28th World Series. So a couple final slides before we get to Q&A. Scan this. Make sure you come to our master's class. Pat here, myself, Roberta Knoll, Joey here. We want to see you there. We want to make sure that you know more pediatrics. And then boom, join FACFAP before the 31st. Come to our manual meeting. You don't have to join before the 31st to come to the meeting, but you'll get the full discount. Thursday's a national park tour. All day we're in the park. It's included in the cost of the seminar. Friday, Saturday is from some of the top pediatric podiatrists in the world, and other professions lecturing on growing your practice and understanding the science and practice management of pediatrics. And I think I hit it just on about 10 minutes left. I haven't been privy to any of the questions because I'm just kind of staring at my own screen.
Oh, good. So it's a
So
surprise.
yeah, right. So maybe it's a surprise. So maybe there were some hard questions I was able to dodge temporarily, but if you want to share your screen, that's fine. You want to keep it up like this, you let me know.
I'm going to leave it like this for a few minutes just so that people can copy that information down. And there actually aren't any questions, just a comment from Roberta. So take a minute, everybody type your questions into the Q&A so that it gives us something to chat about. I know I have one thing I want to chat about, but
Oh,
first
excellent.
I want to
And
read Roberta.
what number was your favorite? If you could just put a number in the chat.
Oh yeah, if
Um,
you guys know what your number was,
yeah,
or
or if you know
remember,
how many of them you're doing, I would love to hear if any of you played along with my little silly game.
yeah, if you know what the topic was, you could put that in the chat or the Q&A, either one.
Yeah.
So Roberta's comment is just letting people know that all the attendees are going to get a 15% off offer on Little Step starter kit.
Oh,
So that's awesome. So you'll get it
oh,
in an
that's
email.
awesome. So 15% off what?
15% off Little Step starter kits for all attendees tonight. So that's exciting.
That's really great. I mean, I've said a little of this in the talk, and I've said it before, but having that patient come in and having a full set of all the sizes and be able to dispense on the spot, not making them come back, is really, really amazing. I think that's great. Thanks, Roberta.
All right, so what was number 7? Because somebody said number 7 was their favorite.
Well, it's my favorite number, so maybe they just think alike. I don't know. Let's scroll
Yeah.
back here.
I'm glad you've got the slides still up. You can go back because I have a couple slide references.
Number 7, and the winner is. Oh yeah, remembering the phrases. Whoever said that, I love you because it's like the one that I wouldn't think you would answer, but it's kind of totally the most important one, just having that mindset when you're thinking about patients. I love it. Thank you, whoever you are, number seven, because I can't see on my screen.
Number 25.
Ooh, one of the last ones. I kept them listening. Yes. The confusing triple quoted, double quoted, bring your kid to your visit screening clinic. Yes, I agree. Love it. I
All
love
right.
it too.
One person said, can you please put up the QR code again? So can we get to that one? There we go.
Oh,
There's a QR code for you.
yeah, come to our master's class.
Uh, Sarah Whitaker says she's looking forward to meeting you all in early May in Connecticut. So that must be the biomechanics master's class, right?
That's the QR code, Bassett Master's class. Yep.
Awesome.
We'll see you,
And
Sarah.
Lauren Grossman said, love my shout out. Can't wait for more little kid dance parties. And that's the one I wanted to talk about. Like, how does this originate? Like, how do you get kids and parents to just dance it out in your office?
You got to email. I'll give you Lauren Grossman's email. She's the wizard at it. She's got this button, and they just dance up a party. I haven't been able to replicate it, so I don't know. She's the guru.
I'm thrilled. And did you say that she's on social media so we can like steal her ideas?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, good. We'll find her. All right, number 10. What was number 10?
Ooh, 10. Let's see. Number 10. This is fun. Should
I
do
know
this
it is
more
kind of
often.
fun.
Oh yeah. Just showing it to them. It's like, look, that's you. Like this is what your child is gonna turn into. I mean, is there any more evidence-based medicine than that? It's like, here's that dad and that 1 year old, and you can see it a mile away. I love it. Thank you. I love you, whoever said number 10.
Number 18.
Ooh, 18, 18, 18. Yes, knowing your allies. It's really true. I mean, knowing you, it's amazing. Like you think like, oh, all my referrals are going to come from pediatricians. Like 1/90th of your referrals are going to come from pediatricians. Pediatric cardiologists are some of my top referrals. Like, when do you ever hear that in podiatry? Because they're repairing the holes in the hearts of kids that are born with Down syndrome and they're looking at the feet. Isn't that amazing? And they're sending them over. You got to love it.
All right, so someone nominated Lauren to do a demo on the dance party at the master's class.
Oh man. Lauren, I know you're going to be at the master's class and you're going to now totally do it. Bring your button with you. And that's extra incentive. And you know what? Anne, we're not going to charge any more at the master's class for attendees to see that. So that's extra
That's
bonus.
amazing. So it's like a bonus, like, but
I
wait,
love
there's more.
There's wait, there's more, right?
All right. Well, I don't have any more questions. I did put the link to the ACFAP meeting in the chat. So if you guys have any questions, you can go there and learn all about that meeting. Of course, you can always email Dr. DeCaro. If you're going to be at SAM next week, he'll be lecturing for several hours and he'll be hanging out with me at my booth a little bit. So,
Yeah, you're putting me to work, right?
I am. I'm going to bring the baby and you're going to babysit.
Listen, that's you know the baby's going to be in orthotics though by the time you get back. So, and you'll have your shoes and socks off. So be careful what you wish for.
Oh, I better go schedule a pedicure. Um,
Yes, ASAP. Squeeze that into your busy schedule, please.
yes, absolutely. And this recording will be up on the website hopefully by the end of the week. We'll see how that goes with our busy week this week. And then we've got more from Dr. DeCaro coming in the next few months. So we're excited. This was super fun. Oh, I just saw an alert from a question. Let's see what it is. How do we
Ooh,
order posters?
yeah. Info at nolaro24.com. Info at NOLARO24.com. If you can't do that one, just email me at drlewisjames@gmail.com and I'll set you up. But yeah, get some posters. And did
Cool.
you have a favorite one?
I mean, my favorite one was the dance party one. Like that
Oh,
to me is
see,
exciting.
Lauren always steals the show.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but like you had me at dancing.
All right, Lauren's doing the next one for us. I'm
Um,
gonna there.
this was super fun. I really enjoyed this.
Good.
I love the 27 ways. So thank you very much for putting this together. Thanks for putting together something new that none of us had seen before. And we're excited to hear more.
Awesome.
All
All
right,
right. Have a good
cool.
night,
So
everyone.
I'll see you this week, and I'll have to see you
Yep.
guys on the next webinar. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone. Good night.